One of the historic tragedies of the 1930s occurred in the American Midwest. The harsh, hot winds that blew away the bulk of what had once been the fertile topsoil of our Great Plains. This was, in part, the unintentional result of what was then common farming practice among an unprecedented number of farmers in a vast area of our great growing nation, tearing out by the roots thousands of miles of protective grasses that had helped hold the precious topsoil in place. The result of this practice, combined with the effects of persistent drought and long periods of harsh, dry windstorms, caused the devastation that became known as the Dust Bowl. The people living there on the Great Plains suffered for years in extraordinary ways through those choking dust storms, and Washington didn't pay all that much attention or even act until the dust finally reached the nation's capital and blackened the skies on an April day in 1935. This was a pivotal moment. It was only then that the federal government truly listened to its people. Soil conservation began in earnest in the U.S. that same year. We learned that lesson, ultimately renewing what had become a barren wasteland, and it again became the nation's and the world's bountiful breadbasket. When I talk with you and explain my outlook on what America so desperately needs today, it's not simply hot air. My words are firmly rooted in years of study of our Constitution. It's why I enjoyed teaching so many junior high and high school students about civics and government. My law degree has further strengthened those roots, providing a solid basis for understanding and analyzing the many ways in which our rights can be eroded without warning, just like a sudden windstorm can erode the soil. Those rights were wisely spelled out in our Constitution. They've worked for us for more than 2 centuries in America. Today it's time we stopped allowing the Washington political establishment from eroding our rights as states and as citizens of a country founded on the guarantee of individual freedoms, designed to allow us all to pursue the American dream. It's time we all stand up and say, stop treating our Constitution, our rights, and us like dirt. We won't be blown away. We will remain rooted in those principles our founding fathers so wisely outlined when we began as a republic. Our voices raised together can become one good, strong wind. The call for a return to sound, fiscally responsible, common sense government of the people, for the people, rather than bluff the people, force the people. I'm Bradley Beauchamp, and I want our rights upheld, I want our voices heard, and I'll fight to keep you free to pursue the American dream. I want to be your representative in Congress. Join me, and together we'll restore America.